Hi, I'm Amy Looper, and I work with high-performing leaders who are tired of feeling like their nervous system is working against them. You know that moment when your shoulders are tight, your jaw is clenched, that happens before you have a difficult conversation or have to make a decision. Your thoughts start to race, and you can feel yourself losing access to your best judgment. That anxiety starts to bubble up. It's not a lack of discipline. It's not a lack of ambition. It's really just your nervous system. It's your biology. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to work through that, how to work through your biological responses instead of fighting through them. And this is the 5-minute reset protocol, the exact technique that I teach Fortune 500 leaders to down regulate in real time to get back into their best thinking. So let's do this together during the next 5 minutes, okay? So here's what's happening behind the scenes when you're under pressure, when you're filled with stress, you're navigating maybe a lot of uncertainty. And you might be a person also that holds a lot of responsibility. Maybe you're a caretaker, maybe you are a leader with a lot of energy that's going to holding the energy of a room or a team or a company. Well, your nervous system is going out, right? It's going out to threat detect, to figure out, problem solving and all those things, but really it's going to fight or flight mode. And so when it's overloaded and turned on 24/7, it's just tired. And when that happens, your prefrontal cortex of your brain, that's the part of your brain that's responsible for strategic thinking, for making sound judgment, emotional, regulation happens there. It goes offline. So you're operating with reduced cognitive capacity, and that makes the decision-making really difficult. You say things that maybe you regret, or maybe you stay in this irritable, anxious state. You can miss important details, deadlines. Maybe you lead from reactivity versus, really staying tied in with clarity to your vision and what you're creating in your goals. So the reset protocol that I'm teaching you today, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system so that your body can take a break. It's that rest and digest. It brings you back to that baseline in under 5 minutes. And here's what's really cool. Your nervous system is just like a big old muscle that we can strengthen to build capacity as you grow as a leader. That's the coolest thing. So it's not just pushing through with sheer willpower. It's not doing any of those things. It's using our biology, and we're going to leverage that. So let's practice it together, okay? Step 1, locate. I want you to think about this for a minute. Where are you holding tension in your body right now? After some doing this, you can do this within a few seconds, but for right now in this stage, it might take up to a minute to really, where am I feeling tight? Where am I feeling stress, right? Pause for 3 seconds and just attune inward to what you're actually feeling in your body. Is it your jaw, shoulders? Sometimes that can be like the weight of the world. Maybe it's your chest. Maybe that's tight or anxious. Maybe it's your stomach. Maybe you clench your stomach. Notice it. We're not fixing it. We just want to notice what's happening in our unique systems, okay? Everyone's going to be different. So maybe you're thinking, I don't feel tense right now, Amy, and that's okay. This is just practice so that when you are stressed, this is a skill that you can turn to. This is just the first step. Here's why this matters. Most high performers are actually disconnected from their bodies. So they're in their head, they're logical problem solving, they're making decisions throughout the day, several times a day, and they're moving mountains, but they don't even notice what's happening in their body. Maybe you're clenching your jaw, you're grinding your teeth at night. Maybe I'm a big one for holding my breath when I do emails. So this particular step of just noticing what's happening, it'll bring you back into your body so that you can get out of that mental spiral and into your awareness. And then you're able to then tell your muscles, like, we can release. We can actually breathe. We don't have to hold our muscles and our stomachs when we send our emails. We can get out of survival mode and actually do really big things instead of telling our body to pump stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. That'll keep you on that roller coaster of stress. It actually becomes an addiction after a time in your body. So, okay. So you've located your stress by this point. Give yourself permission to release it. Step 2 is release. This takes about 2 minutes, especially for us, ambitious individuals. We like to hold on things tight. we're going to release. We're going to really allow us to take a physiological sigh. Okay. There's a lot of evidence around this that this will help ground your nervous system. And here's how it works. We're going to take 2 deep inhales in through your nose and 1 long one through your mouth. I'm going to show you again. 2 deep inhales through your nose and 1 long exhale through your mouth. Now, when I inhale, I'm making sure that I inhale with my stomach. Okay. So breathe in through your nose. Let's do this one together. And exhale. When the exhale is longer than the inhale, this is important because you are helping to tell your system, hey, we can let this go and we're going to stay in regulation. Okay. So inhale again. And long exhale. What do you feel? That second inhale reinflates your lungs, and that tells your nervous system, hey, we're safe. You can stand down, okay? So remember, your nervous system is just doing its job of protecting you. But when we do this, let's do it one more time because it feels so good. And intentionally release. Do you feel any muscles releasing? I know I did. I felt a lot of energy that was kind of pent up here, kind of move through and go and dissipate actually. So when you breathe in, be really intentional, and we're going to really bring in anything that we want to let out, right? We're going to inhale, ball it up, and then let it go. You may be feeling tension in your head leave. You might be feeling your jaw unclench. You might be feeling those catastrophic thoughts slow down. It's not magic. It's just your parasympathetic nervous system coming back online. And when we live in a high stress and work in a high stress environment, we have to intentionally do this for ourselves, okay? So this is why we want to do this 3 to 5 times when you're feeling stressed. You might do it a few rounds at a time until something really shifts in your body. Okay, so the step 3 and the last step is a reality check. This takes about 2 minutes as well. Okay, so again, all of these things are 5 minutes or less. Now that your nervous system is calmer, I want you to ask yourself, what is true? Because when we are stressed out, we're in a state of dysregulation. That's when our brain catastrophizes. It goes, oh my gosh, the worst case scenario. We have to have our disaster recovery plan, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get fired. Oh my gosh, this client's going to leave. Oh my gosh, I'm falling behind. Oh my gosh, the world's falling apart. And I'm not good enough and I'm failing as a leader, and all those stories that feel to us true, but they're actually not facts. So we want to stay to the fact. What is true? What is actually true in this very moment? Not the story, not the fear, not the anxiety, but just the facts. Pause for a couple of seconds and think about that. What is your fact right now? Maybe the fact is, I have to have a difficult conversation in 10 minutes. That's a fact. Maybe a fact is that you and your spouse got into an argument before you guys left for work and school. That's a fact. Maybe your team member's upset with you. Well, that's a fact. People can be that way, right? You might not have all the answers to a challenge. That's a fact, right? None of these facts mean you're failing unless you put meaning to it. They just mean you're leading through a challenge. So we have to regulate ourselves and pause for a couple of seconds so that our body can really, and our mind and body can connect and ask ourselves, what's the one decision I can make from this calmer place of truth? The facts, not the feelings, but the facts. Because here's the thing, you don't have to solve everything right now. You just need to focus on the next particular move. So maybe it's, I want to ask clarifying questions of the other person instead of defending myself to make it a bigger conflict. I want to avoid the conflict, but I want to get clarity, right? Maybe you want to acknowledge that there is tension in a relationship or a work relationship, and instead of pretending it's not there, you just want to get through it. Maybe it's you want to sleep on a decision. Maybe it's just too much right now and you need to revisit it tomorrow. That's a place of regulation and boundaries, and awesome as a leader. Set those expectations. From a regulated place, you're going to make better decisions. Okay? So that, my friends, is the 5-minute reset protocol. 3 steps: locate the tension in your body, connect back in, release through the breath, release the things that are not serving you, and do a reality check on what's actually happening and true. When we give ourselves this conditioning before a high stakes moment, before that difficult conversation, or before you hop on stage and do a keynote presentation or something, it's really going to help you come across with more clarity. You're going to make decisions with more clarity. And notice what shifts in your body as well. You'll start to see that you're going to have maybe less anxiety. You'll have less stress. Your body is going to feel more healthy. And you're going to just be overall in better connection with other people because you're actually in connection with yourself. So I'd love to hear just how this goes for you, okay? Email me at amy@amyleeluber.com or reply to this email where you got this video. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you want to go really move beyond the quick fixes and build that sustainable growth and resilience as a leader, this is a core leadership skill. And it will improve your well-being. I offer a 20-minute resilient assessment for anybody that wants to go deeper on some of these things. We'll identify your biggest regulation gap. We'll create a personalized plan so that you can really close those gaps and continue to grow without everything crumbling in your life, okay? And we can talk about bringing this programming into your workplace to support an emotionally regulated culture and leadership team as well. So the link to that is in the description below. And I just want you to have a wonderful week. Enjoy what life brings you this week, all of it, even the challenges, because that's where our growth begins.